For decades, car ownership came with the unspoken understanding that you bought the car. And while modern cars were never simple machines, access to basic repairs remained possible for owners and independent shops alike. That understanding is now being tested in ways both subtle and surprising. And one of the clearest recent examples doesn't involve software code, subscription services, or cloud data. It involves a simple screw. BMW has never been afraid to do things differently. From unconventional styling to bold engineering choices, the brand has built its reputation on standing apart. But a recently surfaced BMW patent suggests the automaker may be taking that philosophy to a new level by redesigning one of the most basic elements in automotive manufacturing: the fastener. According to a filing with the German Patent and Trademark Office, BMW has developed a proprietary screw whose drive structure mirrors the company's icon roundel logo. In other words, the screw head has the logo embossed into it. It's not a Torx, it's not a hex, it's not a Phillips head. It's an unmistakable BMW logo that requires a special tool, which means you can't work on your car and neither can your favorite mechanic. The design features a circular screw head divided into 4 quadrants, just like the logo. And 2 of those quadrants are recessed to accept a special matching tool, while the remaining sections stay flush, making it impossible for standard tools to grip the fastener. How convenient. The BMW logo is embossed around the outer edge of the screw, ensuring that the brand is visible even when the component or part is installed. From a design standpoint, it's distinctive, it's unmistakable, and it's creative. From a functional standpoint, it's proprietary by intent. BMW's reasoning, at least on paper, is straightforward. It's a patent document. The company argues the conventional screw heads are too accessible. Common tools, BMW says, will allow unauthorized persons to loosen or tighten a fastener in sensitive areas on the vehicle. By requiring a specialized tool that matches the logo's shape drive, access can be restricted. The stated objective is not convenience or ease of service, but control over who can interact with those certain components. In other words, you can't pick your mechanic. You have to go to a BMW dealer. But what has drawn the most attention is not just the existence of the screw, but where BMW suggests it could be used. The patent lists applications that will go well beyond cosmetic trim, and that includes seat mountings, cockpit assemblies, center consoles, interior to body connections. So that means collision shops won't be able to do the repairs, and you'll be forced to go back to the BMW dealer. Now, these are areas that already require precise torque specifications and careful installation, and there are tools for that. And introducing a proprietary fastener into those locations raises obvious questions about who will be able to work on your vehicle, and that's even for basic routine work. BMW also notes that some of these screws could be installed in visible areas of the cabin. That means owners would not only encounter restricted access during a repair, but would be constantly reminded that certain parts on their vehicle are effectively off limits without brand-specific tools. And the patent does not define who qualifies as an authorized or unauthorized person, but critics have filled in the blanks. It's pretty simple to do. Independent mechanics, collision repair shops, do-it-yourself owners, and smaller repair shops would almost certainly fall into the latter category. They wouldn't be able to afford the BMW-specific tooling. And that's the plan. Something as simple as removing a seat for interior work could become a dealer-only procedure. And this is not speculation for many in the repair industry. It's already a familiar pattern. Automotive media outlets and repair advocates have been quick to point out that designs like this widen the gap between modern vehicles and hands-on ownership. Independent shops may be forced to buy specific equipment to remain competitive or even stay in business, while some repairs may no longer be economically viable without the dealership network. And they typically charge more, and they don't have enough bays nor enough mechanics, and you have to wait long times to get in. But that's not the concern. It's about keeping others out. For owners, the result is fewer choices, higher costs, and less control over your vehicle. To be fair, proprietary tools are not new. Independent repair facilities routinely invest in manufacturer-specific equipment as vehicles become more complex. Advanced driver assistance systems, electronic steering, and modern powertrain management already require specific knowledge and tools as well as software. Even critics of the patent acknowledge that the logo-shaped screw is visually clever and consistent with BMW's attention to detail. Some have described it as aesthetically appealing, a small but deliberate extension of the brand's identity. Well, the problem is not whether the screw looks good or cool. The problem is what it represents. BMW's patent arrives at a time when other vehicle automakers are publicly discussing ways to make vehicles easier to repair. Mercedes-Benz, for example, has spoken openly about modular design and service-friendly engineering. Against that backdrop, BMW's approach appears to move in the opposite direction, prioritizing exclusivity and control over accessibility. It's important to note that this screw exists only as a patent. Automakers file thousands of patents every year, many of which never make it into production. There is no guarantee this fastener will appear in future BMW models. But patents are not filed casually. They reflect internal thinking, future planning, and a company's view of where technology and control should go. More importantly, BMW is not alone in pushing the boundaries of repair access. While its logo-shaped screw is a striking and tangible example, other automakers are already limiting repairability through less visible but equally effective means. Stellantis, the parent company of brands like Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler, have implemented a security gateway module in many of its vehicles. The stated purpose is cybersecurity, but the practical effect is restricting access to diagnostic functions, and independent scan tools are blocked unless they are registered and authenticated through the Stellantis system. Tasks that were once routine, such as clearing a fault code or accessing a safety feature, once required dealer-level credentials or proprietary subscriptions. That's all changed. Volkswagen Group, which includes Audi and Porsche, uses what it calls component protection. Certain electronic parts will not function properly unless they are validated using manufacturer software. Translation: come back to the dealer, don't do it yourself or have anyone else do it. And independent shops can perform the physical repair, but without access to the right software, the vehicle may still display errors or limit functionality. Even automakers that have not introduced proprietary fasteners have been criticized for restricting access to data and tools. General Motors, Ford, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai, and others control diagnostic software, telematics data, and vehicle information through subscription-based platforms. And lawmakers have raised concern that these practices undermine the spirit of vehicle ownership by placing essential repair information behind paywalls or limiting its authorized networks. The common thread is not branding or aesthetics, it's control. Modern vehicles generate enormous amounts of data, which manufacturers sell, and automakers increasingly decide who gets to see it, who gets to use it, who they sell it to, and under what conditions. Software locks, digital part pairing, cloud-based diagnostics, and proprietary hardware all serve the same purpose: steering repairs back to the manufacturer's preferred channels, the dealer. This matters because repair access is not just an industry debate. It affects safety, affordability, and consumer choice. When independent shops cannot compete, prices rise. Dealers get to tell you how much you're going to pay. And when owners cannot perform the basic work or choose where to service their vehicles, ownership becomes more like a long-term lease with conditions attached. BMW's logo-shaped screw may never leave the patent office, but it has already done something important. It has made the conversation tangible. It has turned an abstract debate about software and data into a physical object that drivers can understand. A screw, after all, is about as basic as it gets. Whether the specific design becomes a reality or not, it underscores a broader shift into the automotive world. Cars are no longer just machines. They are platforms, data centers, actually data collectors, and brand ecosystems. The question facing consumers is how much control they are willing to give up in exchange for innovation and design. Ownership has always meant responsibility. Increasingly, it may also mean permission. And this all comes down to one subject: the right to repair. This act has passed in a few states, but it needs to happen nationwide. The Right to Repair Act is out there. We'll put a link down below in the description, and I'm sure you've got something to say. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.